everyone. Welcome to the episode. It is coming up to the holiday period. Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas and all of the festivities around that, which can be a really difficult time with an eating disorder, the change of routine, everybody different is eating differently. Like there's maybe more snacks available during the day, or people are just joining in with chocolates or mince pies or whatever it is, which can be really, really hard. So the change in routine, the change in food around you, maybe you're around people that you're not normally around, you're getting different comments. So we just wanted to do an episode ahead of that period to talk about our experiences, how we found it in our eating disorders, how we tackled it in our recovery, and maybe how we find it now. But Sophia, how did you find the festive period and the holidays in your eating disorder?
Oh, pretty awful, to be honest. And I'm reminded, in a nutshell, I can't remember much positive about it. No, just standout negative memories, to be honest, with the anxiety around them coming up and then the fear of the actual day. I've got like standout memories, like random ones, like Christmas, like yeah, just a lot of anticipation about what the food would be and anxiety around the people around me trying to make it okay for me, like get me foods that they knew I could eat. And I remember a time when that food wasn't available and they were freaking out
Mm.
that that food wasn't ready. And inside, internally, I was freaking out, but trying not to show it because I didn't want to ruin everybody's day. Just feeling a lot of pressure as well to like on the surface feel like calm, bubbly, enjoying it, but underneath, like, oh my gosh, please let this day be over. Or like, why? And all the anticipation around like, when is food being served? Like,
Yeah.
it's never at the time that you would normally eat. So it's in the afternoon. So then what do you how do you then eat? You're really hungry, that fear around being hungry, but then also, yeah, not wanting to eat at a random time. If you're like, we normally did Christmas dinner around like 4 o'clock. It's like, what does that mean?
So
Like, when
bizarre.
was I gonna,
Yeah.
yeah, like, when do I have lunch? And then I think all the food comments as well, naturally, people often make. And then that leading into New Year's just being a really tough time where diet culture is everywhere. People are sucked into it more than any other time of the year. It's
Of
just
course.
like a
Yeah.
whole 1 week of
Mm.
real challenge for anybody with an eating disorder, I think.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, true. New Year's as well. I'd forgotten about that part. And even like the turning of a year, that can be a difficult thing
Mm,
as well. Like that marking of
absolutely.
time, like another year has passed. It can be one of those like reflective moments where you get a sudden burst of the bigger picture of like
Yes.
what has happened this year kind of thing. That's a good point. Maybe we could talk about that too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is a key one, isn't it? Of that reflecting on it. And at the same time as you're trying to make recovery goals of like this year's going to look different, other people around you might be making goals around trying to
True.
shrink their body. And you're like, which kind of world am I living in?
Mm. So
So
true. So true. Should we
it's
talk
really hard.
about the festive period first and then New Year?
Perfect. Let's
That's
do
a good
it.
way to go.
Yeah.
When you were saying about timings, then that was so difficult for me as well. Like not
Mm.
being out of my routine. I hated it anyway. Even like a weekend or a public holiday, like I didn't like empty time and I didn't like being on other people's time or not knowing what times things were going to be happening at. So over Christmas, I found that really hard because exactly like you, like the roast dinner would be served at a different time to my normal meal. Or also people would do things like we'd have a breakfast and then they'd be like, oh, now I won't eat till the Christmas dinner. And I'd be like, but I still need to have my lunch. So, like, what happens there? Or
Yeah.
there's just random snacks out. And I'd be like, but is this my snack time? Does this count as part of my snack? Like, I was on a meal plan and it was very confusing trying to slot a meal plan onto Christmas Day, for example, when the timings were out of whack and it didn't fit what I was normally doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's other people's comments around that. If you've had a big breakfast, like, I'm so full, I don't know how I'm going to eat Christmas dinner later. And they do, they end up eating Christmas dinner later, but you like internalize that and you're like, well, why am I still hungry? Or why am I even thinking about eating before Christmas dinner? Or
Yeah.
what does that
Well, why
mean?
do I
Like,
have
maybe,
to? Yeah, even
why
if
do I
I,
have to?
yeah, like they're like, oh, yeah, like you said, but you're like, I'm actually going to have a whole other meal before that and snacks in
Yeah,
between,
yeah, yeah. And like,
which is fine.
yeah, which is normal and funny that sometimes people say that and they end up actually doing the snacking or whatever in between of grabbing the crisps on the side or the nuts or the chocolate, the random chocolates in the Quality Street. But like you don't see that bit. You just hear what they said because that triggered your eating disorder so much. So even if they didn't, you're kind of in your own lane, you're doing
Mm,
your own thing. But sometimes we only see the parts that our eating disorder would want to see. We wouldn't
mm,
see the people who are eating in between or are still snacking on things.
mm.
So it's tough. It's really, really hard. So, how did you navigate that? Did you work with your dietitian to make that day work for you, or did you find a way to make it work?
I think throughout my recovery, it probably changed. Like as I got better, I probably had more ability to be flexible. But yeah, in the beginning, I would plan what I was going to do for the day, which was,
Yes.
it felt almost like anti-recovery because it's not how I wanted to be. Like I wanted to be spontaneous and joining in. But if other people were saying, oh, so I won't eat now until Christmas dinner, I couldn't do that. Like I still
Yeah.
had meals to have and snacks to have. So I would figure out like, okay, what are the timings of the day and how do I still have my meals and snacks kind of thing. Which,
Absolutely. And yeah.
sorry.
No, and absolutely. And also to say that, like, if I did miss a meal, for instance, and think, oh, well, later on I'll eat more or I'll join in more, it never happened. It's almost like that ignited an eating disorder thought and it then just continued on its momentum. It's almost like you're setting your brain up for that kind of trajectory, as
Mm,
opposed to being like, no, this is a recovery day still, just because it's different to the norm. I'm still doing recovery. I'm still eating my regular foods. And I just feel like your eating disorder never allows you to then eat more or join in more or make up for that later.
mm.
Yeah. So I
That
think that structure is key, right?
Yeah, and maybe something we could also talk about that makes me think of that feeling of like I'll create a buffer before I hit Christmas, and then I'll have all this space that I can just join in on Christmas Day and eat whatever I want. And then it doesn't necessarily work because you've set yourself up with an eating disorder and more neural wiring around restriction. And then you hit Christmas Day and you've still got that neural wiring around restriction. It doesn't spontaneously disappear, and then you're able to join in on Christmas
Exactly.
Day. But sorry,
Exactly.
just on the structure thing still then. So yeah, earlier on, I did work it around a meal plan, to be honest. Like I still needed that structure and regularity. Like you said, just because it's Christmas Day, it was still a recovery day, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
So I did prioritize food and make sure like,
Mm.
well, how's it going to happen? What am I having? That kind of thing. But like trying to join in. So like my meal would be the Christmas dinner, you know. So like adapt it so I was joining in on Christmas Day, but still maintaining a focus on my recovery and what I needed to do and not setting it up that the next day would then be hard, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. And did you use the people around you for support with that? Because I felt like, I feel for me, that was a big thing of being like, this is going to be a hard day for me and getting them on board with helping me to plan that out. That
Yeah.
person that can be helpful towards you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I did. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as time went on, I could bring in more flexibility, but still, like, I would still be like, okay, that person said they're not going to have their meal. I'm still going to have, like, lunch, for example, if you're having like a later Christmas dinner, I'm still going to do it kind of thing. I think that's sticking to your own lane with that. You're not
Yes.
that other person. Like, if that other person's on medication and you're not on it, you're not going to be like, they're not going to say, oh, well, she's not on medication, so I just won't take it
Mm,
on Christmas Day,
exactly.
or any
Safe
day. So
is what's
having
keeping
that
you safe. Mm,
yeah, 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 yeah. Like having respecting your own needs, preferences, history, health legacy, genetics, the path that you're
mm,
on. Like you can't compare it to other people around you, and it can be hard if you're seeing more people than you usually see, maybe, or like different eating habits around you, or it's a different day and you're seeing how other people respond to the difference in that day. But it's
mm.
okay that you are in your own lane and you've got your own needs, and they don't change just because it's a particular day.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is again, and if you kind of take that break and give your eating disorder a way in for that day, it won't just be contained to that day. The next day will be like, well, yesterday you didn't do this, so now you have to do this. It's like, it's not going to be sitting in its own bubble for Christmas Day. It's got to continue as part of your
Mm,
recovery plan.
yeah.
But yeah, that is hard being around more people generally on Christmas as well, isn't it? Just like family dynamics can be difficult for people, eating in front of people that you wouldn't normally eat in front of, all of those things. But also going back to what you were saying about eating your lunch and not waiting until that Christmas dinner to be able to eat. I also used to think, well, like if I don't eat lunch, all I'm going to be thinking about for the next 4 or 5 hours
Mm,
is when is food coming? Like what is the food going to be like? It like heightens your food thoughts. Whereas
definitely.
I found if I ate, I was able to like distract, join in with people, talk to other people, enjoy the Christmas festivities But like if I restricted, I felt like I was getting very like isolated,
Mm.
cold, tired, food thoughts elevated. So like you're not even enjoying any part of the Christmas day
Mm.
by doing that.
True, true, true. Yep. And there's a difficult, like, I think seeing how other people act and being like, oh, but that's what I want to be able to do in my recovery. Like, that's my
Mm,
goal kind of thing. But I
yes.
guess also how do I say this? How you want to be on Christmas Day isn't necessarily accessible to you right now. As in,
Mm,
like, okay, I want to join in and it to be free and easy and blah, blah, blah. Maybe you don't have the free and easy option yet. Like, you can
yes.
join in and it will be difficult. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to
Yeah.
create buffers around it to make it free and easy or control it. Or do you know what I mean? Like, it's okay if this is a
100%.
stepping stone. Like, in the future, this is what you want to be able to do. So you're doing it now, but it doesn't mean it's going to be easy right now. Like, it's not like that thing of like, I'm not doing this because I want to necessarily do it today or it feels good today. It's because this is taking me to where I ultimately want to get to, kind of thing.
I can't agree with you more. And I literally, we've been giving today, Meg and I have been giving feedback to our course participants on their weekly goals. And I literally was giving this goal to somebody who she might be listening and was struggling with navigating a Christmas party. And I said the exact same thing. Like, we're not there yet. Like, it's okay that at this point you still need that really rigid structure and which can feel counterintuitive to where you eventually want to be. But that is where you are at right now. And so if you're still working on adequacy, regularity, variety is still not quite there even. Like we can't jump from there to like spontaneous intuitive eating. Like
Yeah.
it's going to take time. So yeah, completely. Like you've got to keep this as like a safe Christmas if
Mm,
you're in recovery and whatever that looks like to you personally.
mm. Yeah. And it's okay to still prioritize that, right? And take the steps
Yeah.
you need to take to where you're wanting to get to.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, what about the being around other people and hearing like comments or people might comment on like bodies or food or I don't know, all sorts of things
I
that can
found
be
it really
triggering?
hard.
Yeah.
I found comments really, really tough. And especially because I feel like also movement ones go up. I'm so full. I'm gonna have to run this off tomorrow
Ah,
or
uh-huh.
something random like that. And you'd be like, I'm not I'm not doing that. I'm challenging that and it would be really tough, but it's about like telling yourself, right, firstly, move yourself out of the situation. Like I think it's very tempting to like your eating disorders like, let's go into that conversation with them more and really
Right.
delve in, like let me find out what they're gonna do and when they're gonna do it and really like but I think that's an important moment to be like switch conversations and if they're really continuing like switch person
Mm,
go move yourself away.
mm,
I think having like a space in the house that sometimes you just need to take yourself away to, like whether if you're in your own space, being able to go to your room and getting a bit of fresh air, like literally take yourself outside of the environment. There's a lot of beautiful elements of Christmas, isn't there, as well? Like just being by the Christmas tree, watching the lights. Like there can be a lot of areas to like focus on that maybe can bring you some calm and take you out of like that head frantic place if people are making comments. But I think as well, like sharing the fact that you're finding those things hard with somebody that is trusting can be brilliant. Like I
mm,
feel like people made those comments to me at my worst with my eating disorder, even. It's like they just have no understanding how that could trigger you. So I think some people just don't have the ability to turn that filter on. And so going to somebody that does understand and does get it, that you can be like, ugh, I can't believe they just said that with, can be really helpful
yeah.
or can reassure you. Did you struggle with that at all?
Yeah, I did. And I think that's a great suggestion. Even if it's someone you want to WhatsApp, you've got like a coach or something like that, or just write it down, like put it in a notes on your phone, something to just
Yeah.
like, don't let it get trapped in your head, like get it out somehow,
Yes.
and have that like, if you can remove yourself away from the person, brilliant. If you're kind of stuck, at least have like a bit of a barrier up, like whatever they're saying just bounces off. Don't let it seep in, kind of
Yes.
thing.
Exactly.
Like it can whoosh over the top of your head, it can bounce off some kind of barrier. You can be in your cake dome, like your glass dome around you, and it bounces off that. Or also, I'm a big fan of an internal eye roll, like just in your
Love
head, be
that.
like, ugh, like, that's not comment for you, does not apply to you, like, whatever, just
Yeah.
having that, practicing that, I'm not letting that in. Like, that's not how I want to live my life.
Yeah.
That's not helpful to me. Fine, crack on, hun. Like, you do you.
Good for you.
This is not for me.
Exactly, exactly. And almost like also it helped me to think it's so sad that somebody is thinking about that on Christmas Day. Sometimes like getting distance from it and being like, do I want to be a part of this crew
Mm.
anymore? Like, do I want to be a part of this club that is worrying on Christmas Day about how they're going to move to burn this off or how they're going to adapt and restrict and compensate around this? I don't want that anymore. I want to be present. I want to enjoy it. I want to talk about things that truly matter. This is like, my value is family and connection and all of the lovely things that come with this time of the year. It's not about being sucked into diet culture, ready for January. Like,
Hmm.
that is not where I want to be.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I love what you're saying there as well, because it's like thinking, stepping back and looking at it and being like, how do I want to spend Christmas? What person do I want to be? How do I want to remember it? That kind of thing. And then
Yeah.
acting in line with that, even if it doesn't feel right in the moment, or even if people are making comments that are, um, what's the word to it? What's that thing? Like opposite,
In
like against it,
opposition,
in
in
opposition.
opposition. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like colliding with it, in friction with it. Yeah, I completely agree with you. And just staying with your own lane. I think a lot of preparatory work beforehand would be as good as well. Like being ahead of the game. Like, what do you think is going to come up? What do you think is going to be the challenge? What do you think is being the worry? And like planning for that kind of eventuality. So as much as you can be ahead of the game, not caught
Yeah.
off guard, would be better. Like
Yeah.
this person is probably going to make a comment about food. This person's probably going to say they need to go for a walk. This person's probably going to like and just be like, right, I'm going to limit my time with that person. If they say that, I'm in my own lane, have your mantra ready, sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Like different bodies, different paths, something like that. And you just repeat it over and over in your brain.
Literally. And
Like,
that
that shit's not for
preparatory
me.
work, that shit is not me. But yeah, and then like I with some clients, I'm already starting to work on Christmas. Like it's the end of November. Not even the end of November, but we're starting to think about it, planning it already because most people know what they're doing on Christmas Day at this point, whether they're staying at home, going to somebody's house. A lot of people do. So like knowing what that's going to particularly look like for you. I think it can also be really hard because then towards there's a lot of comparison around Christmas as well. Like you see on social media, everybody having like the best time ever on Christmas Day, opening
Mm.
presents. Like you literally just see everybody's highlights reel, don't you? And it's such a reminder of where your life is so maybe not close to that, but
Mm.
also remember like that is still not everybody's reality. Like there will be even if people are posting pictures of their children so happy with their presents and enjoying Christmas dinner, there will be definitely some tantrums going
Mm.
on. Like just remembering like that is like one snapshot of a whole bigger picture as well.
Yeah, very true. And that creates a bit of pressure as well. Like, I've got to be a happy version of me. I've got to show up as like bubbly and whatever. And sometimes you feel like, well, to be able to be that person, I have to have ticked my eating disorder boxes. I have to have some level
Yeah.
of control so that I can feel in a good enough mood, that kind of thing. Like, you use eating disorder behaviors as like the moderator of how you show up. I don't know how to say that,
And
but
yeah, you've just reminded me of that actually. Like that was exactly me, especially in relation to movement. I felt like I had to do some, not some, my actual very rigid form of movement, not random, not intuitive random movement, that rigid type of movement before I'd go to anybody's house because then I wouldn't be my happy, bubbly self. And the thing that this literally just reminded me, the thing I struggled with every Christmas was that the fact that the gym was either closed or open too late. And it used to stress me out so much. I'm like, I literally would almost be in like argument with them, like, why? It's like because everybody's got a life and they all don't want to be in the gym on Christmas Day. And like it's just yeah, it's about reminding yourself like this is a hard day and you don't need to turn up
mm,
bubbly and perfect. And that's a lot of pressure to hold,
yeah,
isn't it? On a
yeah.
day with a lot of emotion and expectation.
I agree. Because what does it take to do that? Like, if you're having to engage in behaviors to be able to show up as a certain version of yourself, like, is that really how you want to be living life? And
Not
at some
authentic.
point, yeah, exactly, not authentically. Yeah. At some point, you'll have to like take that short-term hit of, okay, I'm not going to be my best version of me or whatever, which I've used eating disorder behaviors to moderate. I don't know what the right
Yeah.
word is there. Um, but like by stopping using the behaviors, even if you turn up as like, oh, this is I'm not as bubbly as I'd want to be or whatever because I feel stressed about the
Mm.
food or movement, whatever it is, like that won't last forever. And in the future, you won't have that stress. And then you will be more of an authentic, like, oh, this is me as I am in the mood I'm in. I've not used
Yes.
behaviors to be able to manage it kind of thing. But
Mm.
It's hard taking
Absolutely.
that hit that one time of being like,
That first
okay,
time hit.
yeah, I'm just not going to use behaviors. I might be a bit irritable, something like that. Even telling
Mm.
people around you, like close people, like, I'm so sorry if I'm irritable. It's actually because I'm trying not to using sort of behaviors to manage my mood.
And they will be so proud of you for that. Like honestly often don't give people enough credit for how much they can be supportive of that. I was so
Mm.
scared about telling other people and shameful, but actually so many people can be so supportive of that for you.
Mm. Yeah, because it's like to move towards a different place as well, isn't it? It's not like you're saying this is going to be the forever thing. It's like I just need to
No.
get through this now, the discomfort and the irritability and whatever it is now, so that in the
Yeah.
future I don't feel that compulsion to use these behaviors to be in this mood. Like I can just, that will just be how I feel, kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And I just kept thinking, like, how did I want my Christmas morning to be? Like in the future, I don't want Christmas morning to be a thing where I have to go and exercise, I have to eat a set breakfast. Like I actually wanted to be more like in line with like what my family do, is that
Mm.
they wake up, presents. Not sure if that's very value aligned, but this is what we do. We all do presents and have breakfast, and the breakfast is normally like a special breakfast, and it's very like that's what I wanted to be able to do. And I was also like that's the future like I'd want for my kids as well. Like, at that time obviously I didn't have children, but I was like, I want to wake up with them and follow their lead and what they want to do. That's like an everyday thing, really. Like I want to be able to do that every day of the year. Like I don't want it to be like my agenda to like get things ticked off, not because it's serving me or making me feel that element of self-care. That wasn't about that. It was almost like a torture to get through so that I could actually be able to get through the day without the constant thoughts.
Hmm. That makes me think like, so you're thinking, how do I want to behave at Christmas, and then aligning to that kind of
Yes.
thing. So
Yes.
something I do with my clients as well, like in preparation for this kind of thing, I do it before like a holiday, for example, is
Mm,
like write yourself a postcard from from this holiday that's coming up, and do two
nice.
versions of it. So like one version, how would you want it to be? Like the recovery version of joining in, spontaneity, fun, whatever it would be. And then the
Mm,
other version of like an eating disorder version where you're maintaining control, restriction, rigidity, stress
yeah.
around food, that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
then align your behaviors to the version you want. So like with Christmas, align your behaviors to the version of Christmas that you want. Also within that though, with adding in like, and I need to maintain my meal plan structure, even if other people aren't, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I think the thing that's difficult with it though is that you're like, oh, so the version I want is like, it's fun and I join in and I enjoy it and I'm not stressed and I'm bubbly and blah, blah, blah. And that's where it's like, maybe the full version isn't accessible to you right now, exactly how you want it to be, but you take action behaviors in the direction of what you want it to be. So you take the action of like, okay, I want to join in, but maybe you don't have accessible right now. And I'm bubbly and happy and enjoying it and relaxed and calm around food and fun and da da. Maybe this time I do feel stressed around it. I'm behaving how I want to be able to behave and joining
Mm,
in, but it's not free and easy to me yet. And it does feel stressful. But it's a
absolutely.
stepping stone to like the next time will be that bit easier. Whatever you do this time is sets you up for the next time,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
absolutely. Meeting yourself where you're actually at. Like, what is going to be a recovery Christmas for you personally at this point, and knowing that like this time next year, Christmas could look totally different if you continue being consistent with your recovery journey.
Hmm. Another thing I just thought whilst you were talking is about practicing things in advance. You were saying about like a special breakfast. I think it can be helpful as well to not wait till Christmas Day that it's the first time you do these things. So like there's a Christmas dinner coming and a roast, dessert, mince pies, whatever it is, the breakfast that you have it in advance so you're not facing all this stuff the first time on this day, but you've had that repeat exposure in the lead up so that you're like a bit prepared for it, like it's a bit more neutral
Definitely.
for you.
Great idea. Great idea. I mean, it's November. I'm already going through the mince pies. That's the good thing. That's the good thing is like all of these foods come very early, don't they?
Our tree's
Um,
up, by the way.
oh, really? You're
Not for a
well
couple of
prepared.
weeks.
It's like sunny outside in Dubai. You're like, I need to bring some
Yeah.
sort of Christmassy spirit inside. Dubai
Yeah.
actually starts very early with the Christmas decorations. I think they've been in shops since like October. I
Uh-huh.
like people probably don't know that about Dubai. Like
Mm.
they do
Yeah,
Christmas
but it goes big.
big.
It's funny, isn't
It's
it? Yeah.
big. Yeah, we have winter wonderlands,
Yeah.
penguins in the ski Dubai. It's
Yeah.
very Christmassy.
Yeah, we
So
are riding that wave, and I just like the tree. I feel like it makes the house look nice. It's like a bit of greenery. You can decorate it.
It's just a bigger plant pot. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Nice
No, the kids must love
sparkly
it as
plant.
well. Yeah.
A totally different tangent, but this has just made me
Oh,
think
yeah.
of a conversation I had with a client this week. We were talking about like your body, looking at your body, dressing, like
Mm,
body focus, basically. And in the book More Than a Body by Lindsay and Lexi Kite, which is a
mm,
brilliant, brilliant book for body
yeah.
image,
Really good.
amazing. Yeah. So they say something like your body is an instrument, not an ornament.
Mm,
And my client and I were talking about it like getting dressed or like worrying about like how you look, your appearance, that kind of thing. But having in your head, like, I'm not a Christmas tree. Like, I don't need to like decorate myself.
mm.
Like I'm here in this world to bring light, have meaning, have fun, whatever it is. Like, I'm not a Christmas tree.
That's
So
so
she's now
lovely.
walking around saying to herself, I'm not a Christmas tree. I don't need to decorate myself.
Oh, what an awesome person. I love that. That's so cool. But now, hopefully, when other people see the Christmas tree at Christmas, that might remind them of what you've just said. Like, let it be like a little reminder, like the fact that you're not a Christmas tree and you're not to decorate the world. You're there to,
Mm. Be in it.
yeah, be in it, be
Yeah.
present,
Be a
enjoy
spirit
it.
and a human, not a decoration.
Yeah, absolutely. Good one.
So back to Christmas. What about this thought then of creating a buffer before?
Oh,
I feel like this is so common. This like it's like
so
looming,
common.
like Christmas is coming up. I need to be prepared, and I have to have, yeah, some kind of buffer in place that I've compensated before, so that I can magically join in on the day and eat
You know,
everything
it
from
never
breakfast onwards.
works. It never worked. I felt like for me, all that ever did was just reinforce the eating disorder. And then it was like, well, you haven't done it yesterday, day before that, then now you can't do that today. It adds so much stress. It's like, remember how hard it is to challenge what you're doing. Do you want to add more challenges? Like, you don't want to get yourself deeper into an eating disorder. Like, that would just, if you're not struggling with something and then you create a buffer and then you start struggling with it, that would be so frustrating just to add one more thing that you really don't need.
Yeah, for one day which passes, and then after
Yeah.
it, your brain doesn't just like forget the day and forget the time running up to it and
Mm,
reset or go back to how it was a month ago. Your brain doesn't actually know what this day is. Like it just knows what
mm,
you're teaching it day after day after day. So if you're
exactly.
using restriction, that's what's going to be wired in your brain. Like it's so funny, isn't it? Like the idea of creating a buffer for Christmas Day is like I will restrict in advance. I'll teach my brain more restriction, more restriction, more restriction, so that then when we hit this day, it forgets about restriction. Like the opposite, it now is
Never work.
more ingrained around restriction because that's what it's been doing day after day after day. It's just another day, and then it hits this next day, and it'll be like you have to do what you did yesterday. This is
Yeah,
what we know. This is what we've learned. This is what we've been doing. Here's the thoughts I've been sending you every single day. It's not
yeah.
gonna like change to festive thoughts all of a sudden.
Exactly. Exactly. And then even just to kind of like insert the movement part in there as well, like even if you say to yourself, well, now I'm going to do movement in the morning to compensate for what I'm going to eat later, it doesn't work. All you start to think is like, well, I tortured myself this morning with all that movement. So like now why am I going to ruin that
Mm.
day? Like, by eating. It just
Mm.
literally just it doesn't start the day off in the right way to give you the momentum to carry on. Like that's something I've noticed with people. Those when they challenge themselves earlier in the day, they just have this momentum of like this is a recovery day. Like starting your day, pausing, stopping. Don't go into the automatic what you'd normally do. Like change it. Try and do something that even though it will be hard, feels more value aligned. That could be, like I said, like joining in with your family with whatever they do first thing in the morning. It could be calling somebody. It could be writing a Christmas card. It could be anything. Like it could be a reflection on how you want your Christmas to be next year. Like do something that tethers you to recovery first thing in the morning and feed yourself a recovery food at the same time. And I think that will start you off in like such a different
Brilliant.
recovery. Like tell yourself like this is the Christmas when everything changes. Like this is the one where I'm going to say like this was my line in the sand Christmas where things made a change and I didn't follow the same thing like I always did.
Absolutely love that. Yeah. Yeah, because then there's that thing, New Year's coming. You're passing into a new year. What are you looking back and remembering? Is it like, oh, I've just done the same Christmas again. I've just done the same
Yeah.
year again. And then next year, what's going to happen? Same year again. Like if you
Yeah.
want things to change at some point, they have to change.
Yeah.
And also with that, I think it can be easier. Looking forward in time can help because like Christmas is close now, so it feels like a threat. So you go straight into, oh my God, this is what I need to do, or this is what's going to feel uncomfortable, or blah, 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 blah. But if you look
Mm,
forward, like, what do I want next Christmas to look like a year from now or 5 years from now? How do I want
mm,
to be at Christmas? And it can be easier then to be like, of course, I want to be joining in. I don't want to have stress around food and I want to be spontaneous and I don't want to have eating disorder thoughts. I don't want to be creating a buffer, blah, 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 blah. Like, if that's what you want in the future, then you have to take the action now, which puts you on that path, not the
mm.
action which keeps you on the same path you've been on. And then Christmas is going to be the same thing it's been.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's that balance, isn't it, of like reflecting and thinking like this is not the Christmas I want in the future, but also not like being really harsh on yourself and feeling despondent about where things are, like being optimistic about things can be different, like gentle reflection,
Mm.
um, and focusing on like what you want to change in the
Yeah.
future to make
Yeah.
that possible.
Yeah, because there might be things which have changed that like you're so pleased,
Yeah.
like, oh wow, I did this year. I'm so pleased that I did it. Especially
Yeah.
if it was difficult and you're like, I took the hit back then and now I'm just able to do it. Like that feeling of
Yeah.
like, I'm so grateful that I sucked that up in the past and did it. It was really hard, but I did it and now I don't have to struggle with it kind of thing. You might have
Mm,
that, or you might have that, I wish I'd done that in the past so that I wasn't struggling with it now. But
yeah.
as hard as that is, there's a future version of you who's going to look back on today as well. So what's
Mm,
that version going to think? Are they going to be like, I'm so grateful that I sucked it up that Christmas and did the hard
mm,
thing because
yeah.
now it's feeling easier? Or will you have that same like, oh my God, I wish I'd made that change? Like you're in the
Yeah.
position now that future you is going to be looking back on. Like what direction are you taking? And what are they
Yeah.
going to thank you for?
Yeah, completely agree. That time hop is so powerful, isn't it? You've just made me think as well of the fact that like as well, another pressure that I used to feel, I wonder if other people feel as well, is like how you dress on Christmas Day, New Year's, like getting the perfect outfit. I feel like there was a big run up to that. Was that
Hmm.
just me? There was a big run up to like, what are you gonna wear? How sparkly and sequiny is it gonna be?
Ah,
No,
but
just
I don't
me.
know. I think I
You're
just wear
like,
a Christmas
Steph, I just wear
t-shirt or like
t-shirt.
Christmas pajamas or something. That's a good
That's
out though. Surely like a Christmas t-shirt, like some kind of,
great advice.
like a big reindeer with a bobbly nose on it or something like that. Or like do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
no, I
like,
think
or
that's
like
brilliant.
those like Christmas jumpers where you can get like the coolest, funniest
That's the
bits
best.
hanging off you. Christmas
Absolutely. Yeah,
jumper.
my kids have got them. Yeah, like absolutely. I completely agree with you. Like that's way better. Like, and if you are somebody who is choosing an outfit, like make sure it's an outfit that actually fits your body. It's not tight. You're going to eat and not be conscious of what you're eating. Just be conscious of all of those
So true.
things.
Yeah, you're not the Christmas tree. You're not showing up. You
No.
don't need to show up decorated. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so
exactly.
true. Yeah, like something that feels comfortable will be comfortable throughout the day.
Mm.
And you're not like there's that thing in the More Than a Body book as well. Like, how are you viewing your body? Are you like an outside in, like looking on at yourself? Like, what do I look like? How am I sat at this angle? What's my body like at this angle? Do you know what I mean? Like, have you got eyes onto your body, or are you looking through your own eyes of like, I am actually in this body, looking at the world, I'm part of the world, I'm interacting with it? Or like, are you looking in on yourself as an object kind of thing?
Kind of like that stuff that Holly was talking about on the podcast around embodiment of
Yeah.
like literally being inside your body and experiencing it and focusing on things like the Christmas tree and the smells. If you're somebody that's able to tolerate those sorts of things, but like just focusing on, yeah, all of the senses that you can kind of engage in as opposed to, yeah, focusing on your body from the outside. That's brilliant. It could be a really powerful embodiment moment, actually, because there are so many sensory things going on, which can be overwhelming for people as well. So, like to take your time out if you are finding it overwhelming, but on the opposite, it could be a great distraction and a practice at being embodied in the moment.
Mm. Mm.
Mm.
Maybe with the outfit, like a good enough thing, like is this a good enough outfit for the day? Like if you're a family dress up and you want to be smart, am I
Mm.
smart enough? It fits the bill, but I don't have to be like perfect, or it has to be like
Yeah.
this thing that looks how I think looks incredible, but it doesn't feel comfortable, something like that.
Yeah. Comfort over that. And that's like, that also applies for like work Christmas parties, all of those sorts of things. Like, I think that can cause a lot of anxiety for people of like, I definitely had like a work Christmas party where I definitely focused more on like, how would I look compared, and all I remember is being caught in my eating disorder. Like now, I look back, I have no idea what the conversations were.
Mm.
I just remember focusing on how I looked.
Mm.
I know that doesn't sound great, but it's the truth.
But
As
also,
opposed to like connecting with people,
yeah,
having fun, enjoying myself.
looking back, do you remember what anyone else was wearing?
No, no.
Hmm. It's so much bigger in your own head, isn't it? Like the,
So much bigger. But also, even if somebody does compliment you and say, "Oh, you look amazing," like at the end of the day, like they don't mean like that's the most amazing thing about
mm,
you. And that doesn't mean that you don't look amazing at the body that your body naturally wants to be at. But it's just like you cling onto that as like your self-worth. But at the end of the day, it's so much more valuable for me with my friends. Like I value how much I laugh with them, how much I
mm,
connect with them, how caring, how much they listen to me when I'm talking to them. Like those are the things that truly matter to us. All
mm,
the other stuff is going to fade and is pretty irrelevant. And after a second of seeing you, they're not even thinking about it anymore.
mm,
So like valuing you for you, I think I just never, I don't think I valued me for me. I don't think I was
mm,
had much to say or had much
mm,
fun. But yeah, I remember leaving early as well because I was very cold and tired.
mm.
I probably hadn't eaten
Yeah.
enough. So like it's like what do you want to take away from these experiences?
Yeah, and you can like if someone does make a comment like that, or even if you're focusing on it yourself, you can have like a dot dot dot, like complete the sentence. What's the invisible bits that people can't see? Like if someone makes a comment about like your dress or your body or something like that, dot dot dot, and what's my internal dialogue? What's my like how, am I warm, cold? Have I got energy? Am I thinking about food? Am I actually present in this conversation? Do I am I taking stuff in? Am I panicking about what I've had today? Blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
Like, you obviously don't need to say those things out. Well, you could say those things out loud. Like, actually, you've got no clue what's going on inside my head and my world and what it takes to exist in this body. But whatever the comment is, like, it's just almost see it as like a bit irrelevant. Like, okay, cool. Like, you've commented on my body, but like, dot, dot, dot. And what is the life that lives inside this body? Like, what
absolutely.
life does this body facilitate?
Exactly. I wish I could go back to myself then. I feel like that was a different person completely. It's really hard to identify with that girl being me. But like if you could do that time hop of going back to yourself at one of those situations, at one of those Christmas parties, at a Christmas day, what would you say to yourself back then? And then try to like apply that to now. Like if I would go back then, I'd be like, just relax, chill out, enjoy
Mm,
yourself, have fun, enjoy, join in. Who cares what you're wearing? Like, doesn't
yeah,
matter. Like just be present
yeah,
and this moment is going to pass. You
yeah,
only got so many Christmases. Only like how many Christmases are we going to have? Like they're all limited. Like
yeah.
enjoy it. Just
Or
yeah,
take actions towards being able to enjoy it, even if the
take
enjoyment is not
actions.
accessible now.
Good
Like,
point.
how do you want to be acting and enjoying? So do the actions bit, and then next time the enjoyment will have more
Will
space to
come.
catch up, kind of thing.
But even when you'll still probably be proud of yourself for having taken that
True.
action. Like the amount of people who, when they don't take the action, say that like they feel a bit disappointed in themselves. Like that's really common. Hardly anybody says I'm really proud of myself for having
True.
restricted or whatever. Most
Yeah.
people feel a bit disappointed that it was another same Christmas on repeat.
So true, even if it gives you like, oh, it gave me a bit of relief in the day, but that goes. It's not like next year you're going to be holding on to like, oh, remember that bit of relief I got at Christmas Day or in the run up. It doesn't last. It's like
Mm.
next Christmas you'll have the boxes reset. Keep hitting the microphone. Sorry if there's like clings.
I can't hear anything. It's all good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it resets. You've got another blank slate next year. You've just set yourself up for having to tick the same boxes
Yeah.
versus like joining in, making memories, acting in line with your values. Like that is a lot longer lasting. That's like enduring, meaningful,
Mm.
heartfelt, fill your cup up stuff.
Completely agree. Should we have a quick chat about New Year's as well?
Yes.
How did you find New Year's?
Um, very difficult, very, very difficult. I really struggled. Birthdays and New Year's, that like another year has passed was really hard because I think in the day to day of my eating disorder, I was so caught up in the days. And again, ticking the boxes of the day. Next day, slate is wiped
Mm.
blank. Tick the boxes again of the
Yeah.
day, like day after day after day. But I didn't really see, oh, time's passing. Am I living how I'd want to be living? I was just living how I felt like I had to be living or how I lived yesterday. So I need to match it today, that kind of thing.
Mm.
And
Yes.
then I found birthdays and Christmases were like a slap in the face because it forced me to zoom out. And then I'd have a sudden reality of like, what? This is not what I want to be doing. This is not what I wanted my year to look like. Another year of this. This is not how I envisaged it. But in the
Mm.
moments, I didn't have that. like stock check of am I behaving how I'd want to behave? Like I didn't zoom out in the moment. It
Mm.
just hit me all at once with another year passing kind of thing.
Yes.
Did you
Yeah,
have the
it's
same
really
kind of thing?
Yeah, definitely. It's a moment where everybody seems to stop and take stock. I mean, even myself now, I will stop and take stock of my life. I think it's a very natural thing to do. And then when you have an eating disorder, you're like, what was my whole year made up of? It feels like it was because a lot of your life is that. Literally, it is. It's either restriction, compensating, moving too much, not living in line with your values. So it is often the reality that the bigger part of your pie chart of life has been taken up with that. So it's natural to be drawn to that. And in a positive way, to be aware of it. There would have been a time where I wasn't even aware. I was in complete denial of the fact I had an eating disorder. But I think most people who are listening to this podcast probably are aware, and that's why they're listening to that. And you should be really proud of yourself for that bit. I'm sure there was a time where you were like, well, this is just fine. This is normal. And I think those reality checks are really good and really powerful as long as you don't then feel down and you don't stay optimistic about being able to change because there's always possibility for change.
Mhm.
But just take it on board of like, no, this is going to be different. And maybe focusing on like when people are making New Year's resolutions around you for whatever they might be doing, focus on the values that you want to be able to live your life by this year.
Mhm.
Like, I want more connection in my life. Okay, so now how am I going to do it? Am I going to, this year, what's the difference? Am I going to get a therapist on board, a dietitian, a coach? What am I going to do to make that change? Who's going to help me get there? So, like, think about the values that you're not living by, and then get practical of like, what are you going to put in place? Are you going to do meal delivery service? Are you going to tell somebody who's close to you so they can eat with you more often? Like, just opening up to somebody can be huge. So, yeah, it can be a powerful time for making
Mm.
those changes.
Yeah, it's so true, isn't it? Not having it is such a hard feeling. It's so painful having it's like a slap in the face having that like reality check of another year. Um, but yeah, harnessing that as like, and I'm going to put that into change.
Yeah.
Like in a way, as hard as that feeling is, if you had that feeling every single day, you'd be like, fuck, sorry, I need to do something different, you know?
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah,
like, how can
absolutely.
you like drip feed that across your days and into each snack, into each meal, into each time you're resting, not
Yes.
moving, that kind of thing? Like, how can you harness that feeling to be like, therefore, I need to make a change so this doesn't happen again? Like, not being like, that is so painful, I'm just gonna like bury my head in the sand almost, or like, I just can't cope with that feeling because it's so overwhelming. Or it might be easier to look forward in time. Some people find it easier to look forward than to look back because looking back is painful. So using it more as like a motivation of like, okay, looking forward, this time next year, I want to be sat here reflecting on what has changed and
Mm,
knowing that like, okay, it's painful now, maybe that things haven't changed. I find that painful. So next year I want it to be different. I want to reflect on what has changed. So I need to make changes. Like I can't just set resolutions or want this to be different or like practically what is literally going to change. Like if I don't make a change, nothing's going to change.
yeah, yeah, so powerful. I wonder as well whether it'd be helpful to either do some writing journaling on this that you can like keep bringing up to read over. Like you're saying, like pipette it or drip it into each of those moments. Like, could you write yourself a letter on that day of how you're feeling in that moment, or literally give yourself a voice note, a pep talk that you could like press play in the moment, like Saf, this is January 2020 and you are still in, you know what I mean? Like, make this change. Like, trust me, this feels awful. And I know it could probably feel awful in the moment, but you do not want to feel like this place in January 21. I think that could be really powerful. Like, and
Mhm.
that could be one of your tools. Press play. Press
Yeah.
play on the New Year's voice note or whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Get voice memos up on your phone, record.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And then you could like play it, you could bullet point list it out in the
Yeah.
moment, like write bullets of like where do I not want to be again next year? Where do I want to be? And then it's like aligning action, like therefore what do I need to do to get there kind of
To
thing.
get there.
Sorry,
Yeah,
my
even maybe voice memos from other people. Like if anybody else who you're letting into your life about this, maybe what's their New Year's wish for you? That I think could be really powerful too.
Yeah, that's a lovely idea.
Mm.
Yeah. No, it definitely is very, very hard. I found it very difficult New Year's coming round, but it's like,
Mm.
what do you do with that? Like, how do you
Mm.
therefore use it to make change?
Absolutely. And then using your positive coping strategies because I think the holiday season can be difficult for people for a range of reasons, whether they're going through recovery or just it's a time where family comes together. So I can think it can be bring up a lot for people. So like using your coping strategies to be able to deal in those moments and like what brings you calm and peace and talking to people. Do you need to book in some extra therapy sessions? Like what do you need to do to keep yourself safe as well?
Mm. Yeah. Have podcasts ready, YouTube
Yeah.
videos if you found people talking about this kind of topic.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Another
Oh,
one thing I've thought, just as
mm,
I guess we're wrapping up, um,
mm,
maybe even having like non-negotiables in place that
good
you've kind
one.
of got a set of ground rules, like doesn't matter what everybody else is saying, I stick to the meal structure, I need to, something like that. So that then when you get those comments, you can repeat that to yourself. Or like, doesn't
Brilliant.
matter if someone comments on my body, I know I'm more than a body and I want to live a life, I don't want to be a body, something like that. Or like
Brilliant.
I'm gonna let that comment bounce off my shield, my glass dome.
Perfect. Yeah, no, the non-negotiables are key. And if you can let somebody else in on those, that would be really good. Like just plan it out, plan that day down to a T almost
Yeah.
of like, this is what I'm going to follow.
Yeah.
And if you need even like a little checklist, if you're somebody that deals well with a checklist, tick it off as you're going. Like I think some people find it hard sometimes to keep track of what they plan
Mm.
to do. So have a checklist, have
Yeah.
alarms, anything you need
Yeah,
to do
even a
it.
checklist of like what am I going to practice in advance to prep
Yeah,
myself for Christmas Day, that like I've
nice.
had this breakfast before and I've done the roast
Yeah.
dinner every week in the
Do
run up.
that now. Like this
Yeah.
is it. We're still in November. So that's a good thing about this podcast coming out now is if you're listening, like make that podcast of all that list, sorry, of all the things that would be helpful to have challenged before that Christmas Day or New Year celebration.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think even if it feels some of the sometimes the things can feel disordered, like
Mm,
my goal is to be spontaneous on Christmas Day, but I'm going in with a meal structure, something like that. But basically, like what steps you are where you are, you know,
yes.
and what steps do you need to take to get to where you want to go? Like where you want to be isn't necessarily available to you right now this
Mm,
Christmas, but
yes.
what can you do that moves you in line with that, not that keeps you stuck in the same Christmas you've been living or, sets you up for more restriction or sets you up for worse habits, that kind of thing. Like how can you, Christmas is just a day as well. How can you maintain your
Yeah.
recovery through it so that when it's past, you're still on the same path? And how can you set yourself up so that when next year comes around, that you're
Mm,
in the place you'd want to be, you're moving in the direction you'd want to move to, even if it's not like, if part of that is I'm spontaneous, maybe that's not, I can't be spontaneous now, but what do I need to do to get there? Like to get there, I actually need to plan in that I'm going to have that cake and I'm going to have the roast dinner and I'm going to have the chocolates when they're out and blah, blah, blah,
quality streets. Look
which
forward to the quality
I know
streets.
I love them so much. They're so expensive here.
I know, I know, I know. They're my dad's favorite as well. So I would still buy them over here, but I'm like,
Yeah,
oh God, back home, this is like a quarter of the price. It's
I
crazy, isn't
know.
it?
We've got family bringing them out in their suitcases for us.
Clever, clever. Yeah, yeah. Well, hope
Okay.
this was helpful, everybody. And yeah, do let us know in the comments if you have any further questions or if anything resonated with you. But we hope you have a lovely holiday season. I think it's
Yeah.
even Thanksgiving as well for some people
I
as
was
well. I think,
thinking that. Yeah. Is it like towards
yeah.
the end of November? I think it is. So
I think so. I've started to see
shortly.
some recovery people talking about it, so I think it must be. So happy Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, if you're celebrating, and we really hope this holiday season is a wonderful one for you and it improves
Yeah.
even more next year
That's it. As wonderful as it can be whilst you're acting in line with
with recovery.
recovery and where you want to get to and keeping yourself on a good path that Christmas will pass and where am I
Yes,
once the day passes.
absolutely.
Cool.
Bye.
Lovely to see you. Bye.
Angie, bye, Anne. Bye.